Alright, now time to talk about the villains I'd like to see in The Flash. Starting off with Dr. Polaris. Now, Dr. Polaris, for those who don't know, is a Flash/Green Lantern villain who's kind of like if you gave Magneto's powers to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. More or less what Dr. Polaris' story is that he was this scientist who had an accident, and both sides of his brain are, his left and right side of his brain are two different personalities now, and they're both at war with one another, and to top it all off, he has the power of, over magnets. He has, magnetic powers. So I think it would be really cool to see him, I think he would be a really cool opponent for the Flash, and also kind of sympathetic, because he was a mild-mannered doctor who has now this dark personality to him, so maybe you could have Barry attempting to try to, talk to him, try to get his other side, kind of try to fix his personality like he did with, or hopefully did with Martin, with Dr. Stein and Ronnie. So I think he would be a very interesting opponent, because you could literally have this guy could doesn't need to outrun the Flash. He just every piece, this entire city they're in just gives him more ammo. Every little piece of metal is just his to control. And if not him, and a little more closer to Flash villains, you could go with Magneto. Yes, there's a character named Magneto who was a Wally West villain who had magnetic powers and was obsessed with the Flash. So you could have it that that whole crazy for you kind of thing, or that whole story with Cupid and the Arrow in that one story, but also but kind of do it with Magneto. And you could even have it like like Cisco names her Magneto, and Caitlin calls BS on him. Like, did you really just change? Give her a call her Magneto? Yes, but I called it an Therefore, therefore it clarifies her as a girl. And Caitlin would just give him a look of, you're an idiot. So if not Dr. Polaris, Magneto would also be really cool. Other villains I'd like to see, within the Flash's Rogues Gallery, is maybe Tar Pit. Tar Pit is a character that showed up during the Mark Waid run, who was a guy who was literally a burning tar pit monster. He's kind of like Clayface, but made of tar and on fire. So I think with CGI you can make, Tar Pit. So Tar Pit, a few other characters I'd like to see in here. Mermer would be a really interesting one. Mermer, for those who don't know, Mermer is he has no powers. He's literally a silent serial killer, and I think it would be like a cool little Halloween episode, like a horror mystery type story where the Flash isn't fighting someone with superpowers. He's fighting someone with an incredible mind and a deadly serial killer, and it would be more of a detective story than it would be a superpowered story. So Mermer would be a really cool opponent for him. I think Mermer would be a nice little non-powered villain, which he doesn't really. He has a few of those, but yeah, Captain Cold and Heatwave, but they have their guns. Mermer doesn't really have anything else but knives and incredible intelligence. So I think, and he's also very well skilled in the human body. So I think he would get a knife, he would just stab Barry in the Achilles heel and just take him out there. And Flash would have to, while he's healing, which I would imagine take a while, because healing an Achilles tendon, I would imagine, is painful and would take a while, even with that kind of healing factor Barry has. So he has to depend on his mind to kind of solve these cases and hunt down Mermer. So maybe you can do a story like, maybe you can do that kind of story. Among other, let's see, what other villains would I really like to see in here? Of course, I've talked about Mirror Master and the Top. I think those are the only two rogues we're missing: the Top and Mirror Master. And again, just give them guns. Not guns, obviously the gadgets. And with Jeff Johns in charge, yeah, I think that's a possibility. I don't know if we'll see them this season. It looks like we probably won't, but next season, god damn it, I really want Mirror Master and the Top. Those are the only two rogues from the Rogues Gallery missing. You have Captain Cold, Heatwave, Golden Glider. You also have Pied Piper, which I'm hoping joins, and then and also you have Weather Wizard coming. Yeah, you still have Weather Wizard. So they've announced Weather Wizard, So just get the top and Mirror Master. There you go. All of them right there. And you can even have, like in the original story of how the rogues came together, you can have it that Grodd manipulates them. Yeah, that's another way, because we do know in a very epic trailer, by a very epic teaser, that Grodd is coming. I said that in the not so scary announcer voice, because that's how it was said. But yeah, other villains I'd like to see outside of. What other villains would I like to see outside of Flash villains? Because there are a few. I think it would be really cool to see Manchester Black in here, and have him played by Matt Ryan, the actor who's playing Constantine, because they have said that Constantine is not connected to the Flash Arrow CW universe, like possibly Titans will be. Or, Supergirl, because Supergirl, there is the creators of Supergirl have a crossover in mind with, Flash and CW, hoping that goes through. But Constantine's kind of like in its own little universe. So I think it'd be really cool to have Matt Ryan be in the CW universe, but played a different character. And just have him play the character of Constantine, but as an angry, a villainous telepath. And just have him be like, look, mate, you may be as fast as screwed up. Look, mate, you may be as fast as the speed of light, but you ain't fast enough as the speed of thought. Really, I mean, Barry can run all he wants, but literally he would be fighting someone with psychic abilities that could, because you can't be as fast as the thought, and that would be really cool to see how Barry try to think outside the box of someone. He just can't run up and punch. He has to fight through all these illusions. Manchester Black also is a powerful telekinetic. His mom, he has to fight someone with who enjoys nothing more than delving out punishment. Hell, you could probably bring in the whole Elite in here and have Superman versus the Elite, but instead it's them fighting the Flash and his ideals. Just have the same story, but with the Flash instead. Yeah, you can do that. Or just have Manchester Black on his own, and he just goes off to, he just heads off to Britain or work for Waller. Other characters, Maxwell Lord. Yeah, Maxwell Lord, I think, because again, we're not getting Lex Luthor, and, Simon Stagg was killed off, and I was kind of hoping Simon Stagg would be this universe's Lex Luthor to Barry's Flash. So maybe you could have Maxwell Lord in here and also working, in charge of like Argent. I would make him Waller's boss. Yeah, he would be Waller's boss, and the person that she has to, be like, yes sir, no sir. I have to take she has to take orders from this guy, and I would have it that he would have the cybernetic implants, and yeah. Maybe do that. And the actor I had in mind to play Maxwell Lord is Bob Odenkirk. Most of you guys would know him as Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad, and now from Better Call Saul. So I think Bob Odenkirk would make a really good Maxwell Lord. He has that snarky kind of sleazeball kind of attitude that Max has. So I think he would be really good as Maxwell Lord. That's just me. Again, not so good with the fan casting here, folks. What else? What else? I just had so many villains in mind, and now they're all just kind of gone. Anyway, so you guys tell me, what villains would you like to see in... The Flash, whether they be Flash villains or other people's villains, because obviously Arrow's been doing that for a while. So anyway, you guys tell me what you got, who would you want in here, and maybe a few fan casts as well. Anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.